I invite you to get settled on your mat in a comfortable seat if that makes sense for you and your environment. To begin for today's session, I'd like to offer a breathing practice that is often called fire breath. It creates a nice warming sensation in the corset muscle, the transverse abdominis, that is part of what helps us sit up straight and have good posture and connect our abdominal everything to our spine. If you'd like to give this a try, it might help. It might be nice to explore a hand resting on your belly just for tactile feedback to kind of notice the muscles that are working there as you try this. You might bring the other hand just under your nose to kind of feel the exhale. So to practice this fire breath, what we're going to do is focus on the exhale. So I invite you to bring your attention consciously to the sniffing sound as you exhale, hopefully through your nose. I know this time of year that may or may not be an option. So you can also purse your lips and kind of blow like through a tiny straw. This helps restrict the airflow because we don't want to dump the whole breath out in each exhale. These are going to be tiny little puffs. Think of maybe like a sip of air on the inhale, but instead on the exhale. And what we'll do is we'll build up from maybe 15 counts to maybe 25 counts, and then maybe we'll go all the way for 50. And when you think about this, it's encouraging, at least to me, to remember that the diaphragm is elastic and it helps create a vacuum in our chest whenever we press all of the air out on the exhale. And so we can trust that the inhale will take care of itself. And so you might also notice as you're sniffing out that you hear a little bit of sipping in between the exhales or the puffs out. And that's your diaphragm working. And that's exactly the intent and purpose of this fire breath, is to utilize that snapping, that elastic motion, the strength of the internal core muscles inside of and around the diaphragm where it unfolds from underneath the lowest ribs. So we're going to do a little bit of core work from the inside out, if that makes sense. It's okay if this feels strange. Thanks for listening. You can come along for the ride if you're curious to try it. So as I said, we'll first go to about 15. So we'll take a big breath in, and then we'll exhale about 15 puffs out. I'll do my best to snap my fingers to represent this for you. And then afterward, we'll take another deep breath in, ready for a nice nourishing breath after that focused exhaling work. And then we'll go to maybe 25, and then we'll see if we can go to 50. This takes a little bit of brain power, willpower, focus, and please always take care of yourself. If you ever feel anxious while giving this a try, you don't have to complete a cycle. You can return to your comfortable pace of breathing. All right, with all of that in mind, you might choose to place one hand on your belly, noticing the drawing in of the musculature on each exhale. And you might choose to let your fingers of your other hand rest just underneath your nostrils or out in front of your pursed lips as you exhale. As you feel ready, you might exhale wherever you are, press all the air out. Take a nice long breath in, fill up, maybe sit tall. And for 15, do quick exhales, ready, go. Breathe in. Take a beat to notice how that was. Decide if you're ready to try it again. Set up, you can switch hands if you'd like. This time we'll aim for 25. A long breath in as you're ready. Inhale, fill up. And exhale for 25. Your count, ready, go. Long breath in as you're ready. Maybe you got there before I did. Maybe the snapping was in line or not with your pace, and that's all okay. Notice how you feel. See if you are willing to give it a try for maybe 50 counts. That's just long enough to really kind of notice the back and forth and the kind of natural passive inhale that happens in between all of those quick, effortful exhales using the core muscles. All right, do with that what you will. Exhale where you are. Deep breath in and exhale how you like, maybe for 50 counts. Inhale, fill up when you're ready. Maybe let the belly be soft. Exhale. Notice how you feel, maybe some warmth in the belly. This breath is also sometimes referred to in English as skull shining breath. So I like to also bring my attention to my noggin and just kind of notice any sort of tingling or just shiny sensations that might or might not be occurring there. As you're ready, we can begin to move a little bit, but let's take our time, kind of working our way in slowly. I invite you to join me with a little bit of bilateral self-massage just to the shoulders by bringing maybe the right hand first to the left shoulder. You can either softly slide your fingers back and forth from your neck to your shoulder cap, just noticing the sensation there. Or maybe you apply gentle pressure, maybe creating soft circles with your fingertips, maybe noticing your trapezoid muscle, that long, strong muscle that connects right behind your lowest vertebrae in your neck and moves down over almost like a cape onto the shoulders, allowing us to do so many things with our arms, but it carries a lot of tension, so be sweet to it now. Could feel nice to squeeze gently, just exploring what kind of comfort your shoulder needs today. And as you're ready, you might lower that hand to your lap or to your side and bring your other hand, maybe the left, over to the right shoulder, seeing what that side needs, noticing sensation there, texture, temperature, making gentle circles with your fingertips, noticing any tender points. No need to force anything, just softly squeezing wherever it feels nice. Remembering we can give ourselves a bit of comfort this way. And the reason for the bilateral massage, that is crossing the midline, using left on right, using right on left, is to activate both sides of the brain, which can have a neutralizing effect for our nervous system. Just a fun little fact to keep in your pocket and maybe self-soothe again sometime when you need it. You can switch sides again if you'd like. Maybe one more time, take the other hand to the opposite shoulder. Squeezing, comforting, massaging. You can continue this way as long as you'd like, offering your system what it needs. This is yoga. I invite you to settle in any amount more, maybe shifting your legs in any direction or bringing a blanket or block beneath your hips. Maybe as you settle, you begin to sit a little taller. Just noticing the length of your spine, the connection of your hips to the props or the floor beneath you. Imagine a string is tied to the very top of your crown, gently lifting. Notice the length between each vertebrae in your spine, even if just thinking about it. Again, you can stay here. I'd like to also offer a mudra, which is just a gesture for our hands. It's like a yoga pose for our hands to take to help us hold an idea or return to it when our thoughts inevitably wander, whether sitting in meditation or incorporating it into a movement practice on the yoga mat. The gesture I'd like to share with you for today is one associated with interconnectedness. I believe in Sanskrit it is pronounced Sahasrara. Sahasrara. You can look that up if you're curious to learn more. If you'd like to join me, you might expand all your fingertips in every direction on both hands, letting your palms shine forward. And in center, maybe just bring your thumb tips and index fingers to connect, kind of creating a little diamond shape or a little triangle. Might depend on the shape of your hands. We're all different shapes and sizes. And you can hold this up overhead just like you see me doing here. And I like to think about the sun shining overhead, maybe closing your eyes. You can imagine warmth from up above flowing down over you if that's comforting or accessible. Another translation or association with this gesture is that of the thousand-petaled lotus. So this for me resonates with both the shape we're making with our hands. It kind of looks like a big bloomed flower. And also I like to think about the idea of interconnectedness and how the many thousand petals on a lotus flower, for example, might all still be connected to the same stem, the same source of life, the same connection to the earth. Again, take what you need, leave what you don't, do with that what you will. You might notice the warmth of your arms if you're choosing to hold this up overhead. You could also rest it down on your lap if that feels nice. Something to think about or play with or incorporate into our movements here together if you choose. As you sit tall with me here, I invite you to bring your chin towards your chest and let your nose be heavy towards your lap. Notice the sensations in the spine as you create more length in the back of the neck. This is enough. You can stay here, or maybe an inhale lifts the chin towards the sky. You can press the jaw away, maybe flap it a couple of times like a puppet. Maybe jutting the chin forward or upward, stretching the throat. Good work. You might draw your chin towards your chest again, lengthening the back of the neck once more. Lifting the face to look ahead, you might choose to look over one shoulder. There's no right or wrong range of motion, just notice where your chin moves to. Maybe pairing your breath with the movement you move through center to look towards your other shoulder. Do this 3 more times. Inhaling, looking left or right, exhaling, switching sides. Nice. You might bring your face back to neutral, back to face forward as you're ready. Perhaps one ear drops towards the same side shoulder. You could bring a hand up to your face or tent your fingertips around your ear, offering a little support to the weight of your head. You might switch sides as you're ready. Maybe an inhale lifts your head tall again. Once more, ducking the chin towards the chest, letting the face be heavy towards the lap. Begin to toggle your nose from left to right as though a pendulum is swinging from it. Again, there's no right or wrong range of motion. This could be a really tiny movement. Or maybe it becomes bigger after you do it a few times. Imagine just drawing little semicircles with your chin on your chest. It's okay if you notice sounds in the body, crackling, popping, these things are normal. Pay attention to the sensations. Moving away from pain, nothing to force here. Nice. When you feel finished with that, you might adjust your seat as needed. You could remove a block if you're choosing to sit up high. As you settle again, you might shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back and down, opening the collarbone in front of you as though to smile. Draw your elbows down towards the floor as you continue the circle, shrugging them again, rolling your shoulders maybe 3 more times this way. Shrugging towards the ears and then making space as they slide down your rib cage on your back. Noticing the breath as you move. Maybe reversing the direction, sort of shrugging your shoulders forwards now. Nice. Your hands might find the fronts of your knees, letting your arms extend long, creating support so your spine isn't the only thing supporting you tall. On an inhale, drag your belly button between your elbows, spilling your belly towards your lap. Imagine a string tied to your sternum lifts you skyward. Maybe look up as you breathe in. Seated cow pose. From here, we'll move to cat. Move from the ground up, tucking your tail first. Still using the support of your arms as you round through your low back, making space between the shoulder blades. Maybe tucking the chin and rounding the face towards the lap for seated cat. Move with your breath. Continue this flow. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. I'm going to change directions so that you can get a different perspective here. Inhale, arching back, lifting your chest toward the sky. Exhale, tucking the tail first, rounding the spine, opening the shoulder blades behind you, curling the face towards your lap. You can continue this way as long as you'd like. This is like a wonderful massage for the spine. Also creates some core strength. You might notice all the muscles working to allow you to move this way.